Hey, Brett, look at this.
What?
Look at your hands.
This is insane.
We're animated.
I love this.
Look at it. Look at it in the background. You see that big store? You know what that is, Brett?
That is the Ultimart.
I am excited to tell you guys out there, that we are finally, years ago, Brett and I worked on an animated show. And Brett, what's it called?
Shoes and Beef.
Shoes and Beef. Shoes and Beef, friends for life. And they live in the Ultimart. They walk around the Ultimart, which is a store where everything has come alive. And we are excited to tell you guys about Shoes and Beef. It's coming to this channel. Make sure that you guys are sticking around, tuning around, looking around, beefing around, choosing around, beef, shoes, and beef, and beef, and beef, and shoes. Yeah, shoes. Friends for life. That was very good, Brett. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, everybody. The big announcement is that Shoes and Beef will be a full-on show. It'll air on this channel, the pilot anyway. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. All right, so thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate you all very much so. You have no clue how much of a risk this is right now. So for people who don't know, I'm streaming on 2 channels right now. I'm streaming on both the Christian Harloff and Friends channel. I'm streaming on the Christian Harloff main channel. And why am I doing that? Well, the honest answer is usually I pre-tape the Monday show, and I was on Fridays. And so I was like, okay, or I get up really early and do one on, 7 in the morning or something and get it ready to go by 9. It's like, I'm not gonna be able to do that today. I was like, so I have that live stream channel, and I don't want to lie. I don't want to go live on my channel and then I don't do anything for the live stream. I was like, well, let me try to do both. Streamer has that thing where it's you can do both. So that's what I'm doing. So I will be taking the super chats from you guys for the duration of the show, and I'll answer them at the very end of it, like I do for every live stream. So we have a lot to talk about here today. So I want to make sure that you guys throw in those chats. If you do throw them in there, I will get to them, and I promise you I will get to them, and I'm going to get to them at the end of the show. So that way, you put it in there, you go, well, what the hell? I'm seeing both of them. I'm seeing if you put them on the live stream, the Christian Harloff and Friends channel, I see it. If you're putting it on this channel, I see it. So just to let you know. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get into all this today because we got a lot. James Gunn is talking about the DCU. They asked him, everybody's been asking that question. Like, what the hell is it? What is it going to be? TV shows? Is it going to be movies, just movies? Is it going to have any of the games? Is it going to be animated? What is it? Well, Gunn answered that question when promoting the holiday special for Guardians. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about that as well. There is a few other things. Obviously, Indiana Jones 5 is coming out. Kathleen Kennedy was asked about 4, and she talked about what she thought was wrong with that movie, and we'll get into that as well. There's other stuff coming out. I tweeted it out over the weekend about Severance. I started watching it. I'll give you my opinion on what I've seen thus far. We can talk about that. There's a few other things also. There's tons of stuff that's going on in the news. This is Addams Family. I haven't watched it yet, but I hear good things. I hear really good things. Bob Iger apparently was not a fan of Chapek. Well, who wouldn't have guessed that? And let's see what else. I think as you mentioned, yeah, you mentioned it before. If you saw up top the Shoes and Beef pilot, we're really excited about it, man. I'll tell you how that kind of came to be. And there's other things, man. There's other things that we'll get into today for sure. But if you haven't already done this, please subscribe to the podcast and listen to the big thing on the go. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the podcasts are found. Please go ahead and do that. We have the Patreon right now, patreon.com/thebigthingshow. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Really would appreciate it. Thank you to our friends over at Carbon Health, by the way. This episode is sponsored by Carbon Health. They have over 110 locations nationwide, 80 locations in California. They have urgent care needs at all locations, advanced care for most urgent care facilities. They have primary care in California. You start a relationship with a professional that you can trust to take care of yourself before a major issue arises. We love them. We love Carbon Health. We love working with Carbon Health. They believe that everyone deserves a healthcare provider who is an active partner supporting you in your efforts to feel better and live healthier. They have care teams that support, and they have the resources they need to be able to focus and build a relationship with you. it's pretty great. We're excited to have them. The link is going to be in the description. So check out Carbon Health if you haven't done it. This episode, obviously sponsored by them. And I think that's really it. One more time, if you haven't been here, subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 70,000. We're trying. We're trying, guys. We're trying. We're moving. We're doing it. Yeah, we're crossing streams today, everybody. This is two channels. I don't know how it's going to work. I have no idea. Here's what I'll tell you is that I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna see how we do. And if it's something that both channels like, benefit on, feel like you want to do it again, then we'll do it again. If it eats shit, then we won't do it. But I figure why not try it? And that's it. So all right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into the episode. It's the big thing. It's me. It's you. It's everybody. Let's do it. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's the big thing on a separate string. That's me. Thank you. I don't even know what that volume is. Is that the volume? There's a volume. I found it. I'm learning all this stuff. Getting better. The fact that I could try to do two streams at the same time scared the shit out of me. I don't know if it's going to work out. We'll find out. How you guys doing? How was your Thanksgiving? I know I did a show on Friday, and maybe some of you saw it. Or I did the ranking for the Marvel Phase 4. And I wonder what you guys thought about that video. I did my list. Hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the list. It was fun to do. Some asshole face say, look at the camera. I was like, fuck off. Doing 75 different things. You look at the camera. Jerk off. I don't know. He must be a nice guy. How the hell do I know? Could be a really nice guy. Could be a priest telling me to look at the camera, trying to help me out. I just told him to fuck off. Nice guy. What the hell's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? It's one of those days. Anyway, so I see all you guys in there, and I appreciate it. The double stream, and as I said in the beginning, throw your super chats in there, and by the end of the show, I'll get to them. And if you have anything you want to talk about, any questions, anything that you wanted me to cover and I didn't cover today, then throw that in there and let's do it. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. So I'm appreciating it. I appreciate you. Hey, by the way, did you hear that? I don't know if I have the sound clip right now, but I did. I for people who watch The Big Thing or even watched SEN for a while, I used to do, and I still do, for Mrs. Garrett, do the character of Richard. Hey, everybody, how you doing? What's going on? And he was based off my friend in Queens, and my buddy over the weekend sent me video. I'm not showing the video, but showed part of his voice, and I played it on the show on Friday. So anyway, it was pretty great to hear him. I don't know if I can find it. If I can find it again, I might be able to find it. If I can find it real quick, I'll play it for you guys. And I really hope that I hope you get a kick out of it, because it's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Where is it? Anyway, let's get into some more stuff though before you even do that. Let's talk about this James Gunn thing, because it's pretty big. It's a big story, and something I think we all want to get into, talk about, figure out what this DCU is going to be all about. So there's the article here, and I'm going to read a lot of stuff from Dark Horizons. James Gunn on how the DC interconnects. The newly appointed co-CEO of DC Studios, James Gunn, has confirmed that the crossover potential of new DC Universe will run across multiple mediums beyond just film and television. Answering fan questions on Twitter during the promotion of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy's holiday special, Gunn was asked if he intends to create more shows for the established live-action DC protagonists. He responded, yes, most definitely, before saying the DCU will be connected across film and TV and animation. He later confirms there are plans to connect games as well, and that the animation he refers to will include both 2D and 3D efforts. So, will everything be connected? Not everything. Asked if there will be some standalone animation or live action shows that take place in separate worlds. Example, HBO Max's Harley Quinn. He responded, yes, some. That would suggest certain projects will remain outside the main new canon, including likely his own Peacemaker series. Really? That goes outside the main canon? Man, I guess so. We'll talk about it. Alongside with projects like Joker 2 and Matt Reeves' Batman verse. Gunn, who confirmed that he would continue to write and direct select DC projects in the future, also revealed in his Q&A in his dealings on social media, he found Booster Gold was the most new requested character to be included. Both Gunn and co-chair Peter Safran are currently at work on a DC Universe Bible mapping out the new decade for DC, with their work on that almost done. Those plans will be revealed to Warner Brothers Discovery executives soon. When details will be made available to the general public isn't so clear. Well, I think we'll be able to guess that, everybody, when that's coming out. Okay, let's get into a few things with that report, because there's a lot. There is a lot. I think that there's not too much of a surprise here when it comes to the fact that there's going to be standalone projects. We knew that. We knew there's going to be standalone projects, and I think that we're hoping that there would be standalone projects. And we had the conversation on Big Thing with Roxy and Brett a couple of weeks ago about how maybe, the Batman falls into this new version of the DCU, but unlikely, because it's just such a radically different tone, and they almost seem to be making their own little side universe, which could be confusing, which is one of the problems now. But they seem to be already making a side universe with the Penguin series and everything else. So I don't know, man. At one point I'm like, I like that. I've always liked that they did that. I think that was a way for DC to say, hey, enough of us trying the past leadership that's trying to do the same shit as Marvel. Shut up. We're going to try and do these other things, and we're going to make money off of it. And they did. They did it with Joker. They did it with the Batman. They did it with these other shows. The thing that was confusing to me is that they say that Peacemaker is going to stay outside of the canon, and it seemed like that was part of the canon. But I guess, what does that mean? Does that mean that Margot Robbie won't be our Harley Quinn? I kind of hope that they would be part of it, but I guess they're trying to lighten it up and make it more PG-13. Not lighten it, you know what I mean, as far as making it a little bit more accessible. Because that's not Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are not very accessible to the teenagers and stuff, or even younger peeps, I guess. So it's very interesting. And I love the Suicide Squad. I loved it. I love this one. It was my favorite comic book movie of last year. And I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I don't care. It's my number one. But what I will say is this: didn't do very well in the theater. Now, I know pandemic and all that stuff and coming out of the theater and the release on HBO Max and whatever reason, which I'm not doubting, didn't do very well. So staying away from the rated R stuff, probably a smart idea, and playing into like a hard PG-13, because I want it to seem like DC. DC has some of the most unique villains and unique characters in all of comic books. And I want them to really explore that. And I really want them to go into it. But I do want to see the more light. And I love Man of Steel. Loved it. Probably one of my favorite DC movies. But I want to see the kind of traditional Superman. And I like that they're going to do that. But what does it mean for Batman? This conversation that we had, right? Is Batman going to be a new Batman? Are we going to have a new Batman? What are we going to do? I don't know, man. I don't know. How is that going to work? And all these games and animation and the way that they're going to play, they're going to develop stuff around the movies and shows that they're planning, which I think is a great plan, by the way. I love that it's going to be like a heavy, I would say like 80%, if I was to guess. And this is just a number I'm literally pulling out of my ass pipe. And I go, okay, 80% of the DC universe is going to be this thing that we're going after, right? This is the whole thing. And then the rest of it, the stuff that we're going to put a lot of care into, and it's not just going to be like a side thing, but it's going to be something we care about, the Matt Reeves stuff, all this other stuff. But it's not connected. It's not connected. We love it. But it's not connected. There's like these little side pieces that they're going to have, like when you had comic books where it doesn't all connect to the actual through line and the canon of it, but it's these little side adventures. So that's how I think it's going to play. I'm very curious what you guys think. Obviously, if you're watching on the replay, let me know in your comments. If you're watching live, tell me live. Let me know. And I also, any questions about the DC stuff that we'll revisit. And I see super chats coming in now. And like I said, I'll get to all of them. And even if we're here for a bit, I'll get to all of them. So that's one of the things that I'm going to try. I haven't done, like, I do live streams now on the Christian Harloff and Friends channel. Obviously, that's why I was here now, but I don't do a lot on my main channel. But because we needed a big thing show today, and I wanted to do a big thing show, and I was like, well, and I'm doing it live. It just doesn't feel right. I told her I was going to do this whole thing on a live stream channel, and I'm not going to do it on the other channel. The streamer said, well, hey, stupid, we got two options. You can broadcast straight from it. You can broadcast straight from the from both channels, and you can double stream. So I don't know how it's working. How's it working? Anyway, so there's some other ideas that playing into this DC, because they're coming up with this Bible, Gunn and Saffron, right? And you have to assume, you gotta assume that whatever's going on with the Flash, now whether or not it happened beforehand, where they were already planning to do some kind of retools, you know that the reshoots are going to have a lot of maneuvering into this new DCU, as it should. It's your out. It's your way to say, okay, let's reboot this thing, man. Let's reboot it. So we're going to see if that's the case, man. We're going to see if how it's going to play in June, and it's even before June, because Aquaman now comes out the end of next year, right? It comes out the end of next year. Flash is June, and there's a few. Is there what else comes? Shazam. When's Shazam? Is Shazam before? I think Shazam might be before. Maybe it's after. I don't know. But either way, they got a lot. Next year is going to be a big thing. And as far as the announcement of when, I think it's, if you were going to go to Vegas and you're going to slap down some cash on when they were going to announce their Bible, you have to assume they want to make a big splash at Comic-Con, right? I mean, why wouldn't you? The fact that everybody thought that Marvel was gonna do their big splash at D23, and it was all right, but Comic-Con was really their big punch in the face. And DC didn't have anything. They just had Black Adam, and that was really it. They showed the Shazam trailer, but Warner Brothers shit the bed on how they announced that thing. They should have said it's a Black Adam panel. We've talked about that in depth. But anyway, I think that next July, yeah, Gunn's a showman too, man. He's gonna come out. Guns blazing. Absolutely, he is. I think it's a given. I think it's an absolute given that they're gonna do it at Comic-Con. So anyway, go ahead and let me know. I really want to know your thoughts on it. If you're throwing in the super chats again, you can talk about it now. If not, just put it in the comment section. I've been responding to everybody not everybody. I try to, which is again a great thing. You guys have so many comments that are coming in throughout all the different videos that we put out that I go through it. I have a laptop in my kitchen and I respond to it. And then when I'm working during the day, I respond to it, and I go back and forth on different things that I'm working on. And then I go back and make sure I want to be connected to you guys. And I think that I have been. I hope I have been. I hope you guys feel that way with and especially with both channels. Now, I just talked to Marisol McKee. I'm going to hope to get Marisol McKee on the live stream. I have a lot of different guests that are coming on to the Christian Harloff and Friends channel. The main channel, obviously, we're going to be doing. We have Sith Council coming up. We got Roxy and Brett coming back in for Thursday, and then Friday, obviously, Capes and Cows. So we're gearing up, man. We're gearing up. That's right. Guns blazing. Ha! Needed my coffee this morning because it gives me a good boost, good kick. And you guys know I've been telling you guys about it. And if you didn't already know about it, I'm loving me some Trade Coffee. Have you gotten it yet? I've been telling you guys, I've been screaming to the heavens about Trade Coffee. And I'm hoping that you guys have checked it out and had a chance to see it, to get it. Have you had a chance to get the Trade Coffee, everybody? I absolutely love it. I have been drinking it, and if you didn't know, Trade Coffee is a trade service. It's a coffee service, and it's a subscription service. And this my whole place right now, it smells like delicious, like local coffee shops. And it's not, and not everybody, you can't do the coffee shop every single day. It'll hit you in the wallet, right? However, with Trade Coffee, you have that local feel, and what they do is they get from these local coffee shops, and they send it out, and you can go through the website, which is so great, and you can pick out the types of coffee that you love. I love it, man. I've been getting so many of it. Brett and I have been like going back and forth about how great this coffee is and the different ones that we want to get. We've been battling a little bit on what it is exactly that we want. And I've been winning. I get like this kind of dark roast. It's amazing. What they do is they partner up with the nation's top rated independent roasters, and they send you coffee that they know you're going to love, fresh to your home and on your preferred schedule. And you get to support small local businesses. It's a win-win. And whether you're a coffee aficionado or not, Trade guarantees that you're going to love their first bag, or they're going to send you a new one for free. So upgrade your coffee today with Trade Coffee and let them take the guesswork out of finding your perfect cup. So right now, Trade is offering Big Thing listeners a total of $30 off your subscription, plus free shipping. And you got to go to drinktrade.com/big thing. So drinktrade.com/big thing, $30 off your subscription to the best coffees in the country. That's drinktrade.com/big thing. Okay. So I wanted to also tell you guys, and I know that people ask this all of the time, like how they can help the show and how you can help the show. And people say, well, if I can't, if I haven't, if I'm not a part of the Patreon, or if I haven't done this or haven't done that, what can I do? And I said, well, look, if you don't throw a super chat in, if you don't do this, find something that we have for a sponsor, and something that you like. If you're a coffee drinker and you never tried Drink Trade, or never tried Trade Coffee, go to drinktrade.com/big thing and go over there and check it out and see if you like it, and tell me if you like it. And so this is something that someone also wrote the other day. There was last week we had posted the ad for established titles, and I saw this whole big video going around about them, and I thought the whole premise of it was really cool, the what it was. And then I saw this whole thing. I said, I told the peeps, we took it out of the ads. It's not, you can't, if you go back to the show, so took it out. We're taking the stuff out. So don't get, I don't know enough about it now. Don't get it. I don't know enough about it. I shouldn't say don't get it. Do your research on it, because I don't, from what I was told by the agency, it was a legit thing. And I got my certificate. I got everything. I was excited. And then I saw these videos going around. I'm like, and then they were like, well, there's the research. We've done it twice. I want to make sure if it's legit. It looks legit, but I don't know. I'm out. And people told me, and you guys told me. So we only get stuff that we really love. I love the premise of it. I thought it was going to be Lord Harloff walking around, but maybe I still am. I don't fucking know. People kept telling me that it was legit, and then people said it wasn't legit. I don't know. So either way, they're gone. We're not doing it. I took them out of the ads last. You can't, if you go back, they're not even in there anymore. So I want to let everybody know, and thank you for everybody who reached out and told me about it, because I only want to get stuff that people love. I only want to get stuff that people are happy with, and like I said, Trade Coffee is one of those peeps. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Let's move on. Let's get to some other stuff. There are some other stories. The next one. Oh yeah, you know what? I don't have an image for it, but we should talk about it. Strange World ate a pile of duty. I didn't love the movie. I didn't hate it. I said, if you saw my review, I said it was kind of forgettable. It was kind of forgettable, and it was a nice movie, predictable, seen it a bunch of different times, but it was also a little confusing. Like I took my 5-year-old to see it. She didn't know what the hell was going on, but she enjoyed watching. It was her first movie in the theater, so she enjoyed it. But yeah, it just was disappointing, and it didn't do very well. It's set to lose Disney something like $160 million or something. That's not what they need right now. It's certainly not what Iger wants to walk into. It's probably one of the reasons they said Chapek is just, come on, man. You got a freaking Disney movie and it's bombing. And I think that a lot of people are saying that one of the reasons is that Chapek used it to push Disney Plus release and all that. So I don't know, because Encanto was really good, and I think that it didn't do great, right? I know that it got a lot of buzz on. I mean, my kids love Encanto, love it. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. Like that, to me, that's a really good movie. This is not. good movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just kind of like that's there. It's on, my. Here's the thing, my I took my youngest to see it. My oldest like, oh, Dad, I want to see that in the theater. I'm like, I don't want to watch that in the theater again. I'll watch it if it comes to Disney Plus with you. I don't want to see it in the theater though. Hopefully she forgets about it. It doesn't make me take her. And again, it's just one of those movies that it's just there's other things I'd rather see twice. Speaking of other things that I finally checked out, and we'll go to some more stories in a second, but I gotta talk about it because everybody was asking me, so I'm gonna talk about it. Severance. Severance. This is a show that people have been just won't shut up about. People love this show. Adam Scott, the first one directed by Ben Stiller. I don't know how many others are directed by Ben Stiller, but the first one, the pilot, certainly is. And without spoiling anything, it's like it's a head scratcher. The show, right? Now I've heard Roxy just swears by this show, swears by it. Ellis swears by the show. Everybody does, right? So like, oh, you'll love it. It's right up your alley. So I started watching it a little while ago with my wife, like a couple months ago, and she bailed on it with this long hallway scene. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll get to it some other time. I really want to see it. I'm interested. So I started watching. I was like, I finished Dark. I finished all 3 seasons of Dark, which is phenomenal. If you haven't watched Dark, you really should. And don't watch it on with English dub. Watch it with the German and then the English subtitles, please. But anyway, after coming off of that, I'm like, I gotta watch something that's gonna equal it. Everybody's saying Severance. I was bored out of my fucking mind in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, and it was, and I'll finish it. I'll finish it up with once I tell you my overall thoughts on it. But I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Lord of the Rings, the first episode. And I'm like, I want to check my phone. And I was like, I can't check my phone because I'm gonna miss something. I gotta pay attention. And there's these long hallway shots, and I'm like, where are we going with this? I'm like, oh, and I tweeted out, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of 25 minutes in. I'm bored out of my mind. Should I keep going? People are like, yeah, keep going. It's a little slow, but it gets better. It gets better. PLD and Roxy, stick with it. Stick with it. By the time I got to the end, it was like I felt the same way I did about WandaVision. And what do I mean by that? When I saw WandaVision the first time when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, what are we doing here? I'm like, I don't know. And then the end hits, and I was like, okay, you got me. So I'm on board. I'm on board with it. I'm at the end of episode 2 now, and I see where they're going, and I dig it. I think Adam Scott's really good in it. I like the mystery, the kind of lost kind of slash Twilight Zone feel that it's got going on. So I'm on board. I'm on board. So I'm 2 episodes in. I don't know if it gets better or worse. People say better. But I was almost done after the first like 25 minutes, but everyone's just stick with it. And I did. So everybody who wrote it on the comment section and on Twitter and all that stuff, thank you. So I'm still there. I'm still in it. Still doing it. Cool. But yeah, it's a good show. It is. I want to see where it goes. And and everybody, the performances are great. And obviously just watching Totoro do his thing is always it's a great cast. It's a phenomenal cast, and apparently Walken's in it too. And I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about the show, minus everybody raving about it. Okay, so let's move on. Let's keep going. And like I said, if you're out there and you're and you want to get some questions in, super chat's are open until, well, they're gonna be open the whole show. But by the end of the episode is when I'll start taking them, and I've been collecting them. So don't worry. For people like, oh, you didn't see my thing. I saw it. Relax. All right, let's get to the next story here. All right. So I think one of the bigger things that we have to talk about is this. I want to talk about the let's talk about this. This is so Namor obviously is a massive character in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He was one of the standouts. People are talking about him. People have been raving about the performance. And well, bad news for people who want him to get his own movie. It can't happen. It's not going to happen. Marvel Studios' Black Panther Wakanda Forever finally saw the introduction of the comic character Namor, aka the Submariner, who served as the film's antagonist. Noke Huerta stars as the character who has become one of the film's most talked about elements, and there's little question that both Marvel Studios itself and the fans want more of him. However, producer Nate Moore confirmed to The Wrap that the situation surrounding the character is basically the same as that of the Incredible Hulk. They can use him in an ensemble or other heroes' films, but they can't give him his own standalone film as he is a character still controlled by another studio, namely Universal Pictures. Similarly, he also can't appear by himself in marketing materials unless it's part of a series of posters, with Moore saying that the elements of using him to sell the films is trickier than using the character in the film itself. It honestly affects us more, and not to talk too much out of school in how we market that the film than it does how we use him in the film. There weren't really things that we couldn't do from a character perspective for him, which is good because clearly we took a ton of inspiration from the source material, but we also made some big changes to really anchor him in the world in truth that publishing never really landed on, I would argue, in a big way. Moore, a self-described Namor fan, also praised co-writer director Ryan Coogler for his different take on the material and how the ownership of the rights had no impact on those changes. I've read every Namor comic ever written, and I love them. But the world of Atlantis is a little vaguely drawn. It's maybe kind of Roman, maybe. Ryan is such a detailed-oriented filmmaker that he wanted to anchor into something that felt as tangible and real as hopeful Wakanda feels for people. And I think there was nothing from a business side anyway that was preventing us from doing that, which is great. Universal tried making a standalone Namor film through much of the early 2000s. Among those attached was The Right Stuff by director Philip Kaufman, with a script by Batman scribe Sam Hamm. Then came a script by Road to Perdition scribe David Self, with Chris Columbus set to direct. Later, U571 Helmer Jonathan Moscow was hired to direct, but the project never eventuated. All right. Now, this is a little confusing to me. I mean, not confusing in the way that I don't get it, but it's, I don't know. There's some stuff that bothers me with this. I get the Universal has it, right, and they're like, okay, well, you got to pay us if you want to use it. We bought it, so. But why don't they do the same thing with? I mean, maybe they just don't want to make the movie, obviously, or they don't. Same thing with Hulk. It's like, why don't you're Marvel Studios at this point? Just buy the fucker back. How much are they going to charge you for it? You're Disney, buy it back. Like, why? It definitely seems more personal. Absolutely. It's like, come on. You can't buy it back, and it's Disney and Marvel not budging on it. Trade is fantastic, by the way. I'm sorry. It's them not budging on it. They don't want to move on it. They don't want to pay the money because it's like it's a precedent. They don't want to feel like they're being ransomed. And both, because the Hulk hasn't gotten his own movie. Buy it back. Universal's like, nope, pay us. And I get it. They bought it. But I think it's Marvel being stubborn. Disney being stubborn. They went and bought Fox. Buy the Hulk. Buy Namor. What are you doing? I don't understand. You don't have the money to buy him back? Buy him back. I understand at the time when you had to sell him, you're in the shits. You had to sell everything. You had to sell Spider-Man. You had to sell X-Men. You had to sell everybody. Well, you got X-Men and Spider-Man back. Go get them back. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, why? Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know. Comment. Let me know in the replay. I got 2 streams going on right now. How's it going, by the way? How do you like the 2 streams? Does it work? Is it something I should keep doing? Should I try this? Well, when I do a live stream for a big thing every once in a while. I guess the other answer to that is how the big thing winds up doing on the replay. So I have a standard. It's got to hit at least 10 to 15,000 an episode just on YouTube, and then it does another 5 to 10 on audio. And then I feel like that's an average kind of good. That's a good run for an episode, and that works. But if for some reason, I don't know what it is about YouTube. YouTube, for some people, look, John Campea does very well on live streams. The guy puts out a live stream and like 2,000 people are watching. YouTube doesn't favor a lot of people on live streams. I don't know what that is. Sometimes they just like, and I get it. I'm gonna guess how many times every time I do a live stream, I didn't get a notification for it. I didn't see it. I didn't know it. I don't know how the algorithm works. I have no idea. I think that if you do them consistently enough, then they start seeing them. But who the fuck has time for that? I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Who knows? But I'm glad you guys have the live streams. It's the double live stream right now. Like I said, I'm getting all the super chats. I've been collecting them. I'm going to put them in the chat as soon as we get a little closer to the end of it. So thank you for everybody who's joining me today. We have more stories to talk about. And before we even do that, as I mentioned beforehand, there's things that you guys have coming up, especially the holidays are coming up right around the corner. And for you guys who don't already know about Uncommon Goods, oh man, I'm such a big fan of this company already. And I had a few people who reached out about Uncommon Goods. Common Goods is it's a new thing that I had just heard about. I didn't know about it, but if you want to avoid the boring, basic, and bland gifts, you go to Uncommon Goods, and it's your secret weapon. I know everybody's shopping out there, and you're thinking about. I'm terrible with gifts, by the way. I'm so bad. I'm so bad with gifts that I don't ever know what to get people. I'm like, and gift cards. People don't want you to get them gift cards. I mean, it's kind of, you all know it. You know as well as I do. The gift card way is the lazy way, because I don't know what to get this person. I'm getting them a gift card. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. So I got I was looking around for there's like necklaces on there. I got my wife a cheese board. I've talked about that. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And people are like, well, why? Someone said this the other day. They're like, well, if your wife hears this show, she's gonna know what you got her. Well, first of all, I got her the cheese board for something else, but I got her something, and the necklace that I did get. She didn't listen to the show. You guys are, so don't worry about it. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. She didn't know. Watch Today's the one day she wants. She listens. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They got art, jewelry, kitchen stuff, home, bar. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Now, you want to get 15% off your next gift, you go to uncommongoods.com/big thing. Go to uncommongoods.com/big thing. 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We are all out of the ordinary. And as I mentioned to you guys beforehand, and you didn't already know this, each one of the sponsors that I'm talking about today, the link is in the description. I really recommend Uncommon Goods. I hope that you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And that's it. So get some stuff. Yeah, somebody said there's a whiskey pourer in. There's tons of stuff. There's that. Go to that site and just browse around and use the code, and you get a discount. But there's tons of stuff. You'll be surprised what they have over there. It's amazing. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. What do we got? Let's see. There's some other stories that I had posted in there, but I want to see the ones that you guys really, I feel that you guys like, and we'll get to the two that really stood out to me. See which one I click on first. And that would be Kathleen Kennedy talking about Indiana Jones. Kathleen Kennedy is talking about Indiana Jones. Obviously, with the new one coming out, they start. I guess she was asked about Indiana Jones 4. What's so funny about that one is Indiana Jones 4 was really reviewed well by critics. I couldn't stand it from this moment I saw it, but if you go on, I don't know if it's still on Rotten Tomatoes. It used to have like a 75 or 80%, which I think is incredibly insane. Anyway, the upcoming 5th Indiana Jones will mark the return of the character after 15 years. That's crazy. That was 15 years ago. Holy shit. Almost as long as the 19-year gap between Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Indiana Jones at Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Of course, there's a portion of the audience out there that would rather forget Crystal Skull exists. Raised hands. Despite a positive critical reception at the time and a box office gross of over $790 million worldwide, it's now fairly regarded as the weakest adventure of Indiana Jones. Now, recently, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy was asked by Empire magazine the question of why Crystal Skull wasn't as beloved as his predecessors. She says it comes down to the script. I don't disagree. Well, let's see what she says. You never set out to do anything except make a great movie. Sometimes you hit that perfectly, and sometimes you don't. In case of Indy 4, I don't think there's any specific thing that any of us look back on, except that we might have had as strong as a story as we wanted. Maybe. Previously, as the films, David Coop acknowledged the film shift from the MacGuffin being of a religious supernatural nature to a sci-fi one involving aliens was obviously a mistake. Others have taken issue with Shia LaBeouf's performance, the use of CG, and an infamous sequence early in the piece which introduced Nuke the Fridge into cultural lexicon. The upcoming film will see 4 de-ages for the opening sequence, which will return Indy back to a setting much closer to the original trilogy before the main thrust of the film being set in 69. Indiana Jones, number 5, arrives in cinemas on June 30th, 2023, with a trailer expected to be released and reveal the official title. The latest rumor at theraider.net being Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, lots of questions. Questions. So here we go. Do I think that the script itself was a part of the problem? Absolutely. Now, she's never going to say it. I think it was one of Spielberg's weakest. And I also think that he also, and I just started watching The Fabelmans, by the way. I can't wait to hear it's one of his strongest. And I thought West Side Story was one of his strongest. I think that if you ever got a book about it, and it probably will never come out, I think they were pressured by George Lucas to do certain things, whether it was Nuke the Fridge, whether it was Shia LaBeouf swinging from the trees with monkeys and all that stuff, and a lot of the silliness that was going on. It seemed it seemed almost that Lucas was directing some of it with some of the prequel kind of silliness. And I found a new appreciation of the prequels these days. There's no doubt about it, but there's a lot of silliness in it, and I think that it transferred over into the Indiana Jones movie, and it lost a lot of that adventure magic that was part of at least 1 and 3. I like Temple of Doom. I know that a lot of people don't, but I like Temple of Doom. But it still had an Indiana Jones feel to me. But the 4th one did not. I do think that the script was poor. I don't necessarily. I mean, the performance by Shia LaBeouf, that again is a Spielberg thing. He was directed, and I think that was. I didn't love him in the movie at all. I didn't love him. There's times I think Shia LaBeouf's one of the best actors out there. There's other times in that period of time that you can tell he wasn't connected. In the big blockbuster movies, he's there for the check. He's not as invested. There's certain actors like Tom Cruise is invested in every moment, even a shitty movie like The Mummy. He's invested. He's locked in. He's doing what he has to do. Shia LaBeouf was not locked in. Natalie Portman was not as locked in to the prequels and stuff too. And that and more, I think that it was just, and I didn't think Harrison Ford was locked into that movie. I've said it many times over. There's that moment at the beginning of the movie with the Russians where he lands into and people always throw the Last Crusade or even Raiders at me. There's a scene in Raiders where the Nazis have he's trying to get the Ark back, and he's fighting the guy in the truck, and it's brutal. It seems more brutal, and it wasn't. I mean, and there's some funny stuff going in with even when he fights the guy by the plane in Raiders, where he's just like, oh, he's exhausted, or he shoots the guy in the middle of the road. There's those comedic moments, so that works. But it's the silliness that was the stuff that was throwing it off. Like in that scene in the beginning of Crystal Skull, he lands into the Jeep with the 2 Russians, and he's in the middle, and the 2 Russians, while he's giving his little line of "I thought it was closer," they're doing this. It's like, what are you doing? Kill him. He's landed there, and don't let him talk. Punch him in the face. And it was moments like that. It was direction like that I think what the tone was off in that movie. Now, all of that being said, I have had a chance to see, and I know that a lot of you have too, because I think the trailer was leaked. Had a chance to see that trailer where they showed it at D23, and I have been optimistic and super happy that Mangold. I love Spielberg, and I can't wait to watch the Fabelmans. I was exhausted last night when I started it, so I got the screener for it and I started watching it. But from what I've seen, I watched the first 15 minutes, and it's fantastic. It's a 3-hour movie, and my kids didn't go to sleep until God knows when. But I love Spielberg, and it's blasphemous to say you don't. The guy's one of the GOATs. I just feel that sometimes when it comes to movies like this, maybe it's not something he should be putting his energy into. Mangold is on a different level, not overall. He's at a different, let me say, instead of level. Level's the wrong word. He's at a different mindset right now, I think. Where Spielberg is, the stuff that Spielberg should be making, or he's earned to make. You want to make West Side Story? Go make it. It's fantastic, by the way, if you haven't seen it. You want to go make Fabelmans? Go make Fabelmans. I hear it's fantastic. Can't wait to see it. Mangold's doing these things right now. That's like, hey, you want to do an Indiana Jones movie? Yeah, I'd like to give my take on Indiana Jones. Let's see it. Mangold, man. Mangold is really, really just firing all. I love his movies. I love his movies, and I think he's in his prime right now. Spielberg's not past his prime. But Spielberg is in again. Spielberg is earned to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He doesn't need to do it. So I want to see this. I can't wait. It is last week or whenever the hell it was, we were talking about most anticipated movies. And I didn't have Indiana. I didn't think about it. Indiana Jones is my number one next year. Absolutely. Now, again, I realize that I'm probably a different generation than a lot of people who are watching, because or when I was on Amaru Moses' show, I argued that Indiana Jones is one of those characters that should stay over a lot of the other comic book characters, because there's so many comic book characters. There's so many of them that you could sacrifice even one of the greats and you still have another great. Indiana Jones is like the last great adventurer. Winston made a silly, and I hope he's watching. He made a silly statement. He's like, "Oh, I'd rather have Nathan Drake than Indiana Jones." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I said, "Well, wait a minute. Have you ever seen an Indiana Jones movie?" He said, "No." I said, "Stop it. This is like watching Brett on the Andor video." Have you guys watched that Andor video, by the way? Have you? The Brett and I did another film treatment video, and Brett's on the couch talking about Andor. It's a must watch. It's a must watch. Anyway, I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about Indy, man. What do you guys think? You think it's going to work out? Think it's going to play? Let me know, and then also let me know what you think about Kathleen Kennedy's thoughts on Indiana Jones 4 and the reason why it didn't work. So I see, again, I'm so appreciative. I see all the super chats coming in. I will be answering them soon. It's going to be a little bit of a longer show today. I'm aware of it, because I want to get to all these topics before we get into them, but I'm going to get into them in a second. Interesting. I didn't see this story. I'm going to talk about this story. I don't have an image for it, but I'm just going to talk about it. Apparently, Andor struggled to find season 2 directors. What? Not anymore. I guess they already did it, but interesting. All right, let's listen to this story. This is Dark Horizons. With the first season of Andor finished airing, showrunners and creator Tony Gilroy and the team are hard at work on the second season, which began filming the other day. As reported a few weeks ago, the new 12-episode run has set its directors with Ariel Kleiman, Janice Metz, and Alonso Ruzu Palacios, no way I said that right, to helm 3-episode blocks each in the second season. Kleiman gets 2 blocks and the other 2 get 1 each. A big part of the success of the series has been its lived-in feel, real-world locations, practical sets, and only judicious use of CG that's rarely used, and combined with slick directing from season 1 helmers Toby Haynes, Benjamin Caron, and Susanna White. Speaking with the Hollywood Reporter, Gilroy confirmed he tried really hard to get the first season directors back, but it didn't work. In addition, finding replacements wasn't easy, as the demand for quality TV directors is high at the moment. It's very hard getting directors. There's a lot of people who are shopping for the same people all the time, and there's only a certain number of people. It's not easy to do this show. You can't learn on this job, and we can't take big chances with these blocks. Okay, I hear what he's saying. People have to be experienced, and so that's a smaller group. There's a billion shows, and everybody's scrounging for people, and a lot of people have a psychological impediment. They say, "Oh, I don't want to do season 2." And we're like, this is not season 2. It's a whole other thing. And so it's a lot of work getting directors, and it's way more difficult than I ever thought. Gilroy also confirmed that the new season is going to go linearly into the beginning of Rogue One. So there won't be any new scenes set during the events of that film popping up here. Okay. I kind of love that, though. I kind of love that, the way that he approached that, where he's like, you just can't get, because because the thing is, there's tons of TV directors. There's tons of them. But what he's saying is there's only a handful of really good ones. And I love that. That's why this show is so good. Because he's like, you can't just, you really got to find the right people to do these blocks. You can't just get somebody who's just going to learn and go, oh, yeah, I can direct it, sure. And then you're like, oh, he doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. Oh, no, I got to teach this person to do this. I got to teach person. Oh, no. But I loved that answer. And I love that it was difficult. I think, and I'm not nervous about it at all, because I think that he knew from that answer, if he's like, oh, we just had to find somebody who knew how to direct TV, and we stuck him in there. But the fact that we had to really find the right team, I love it. And I also wonder if the directors who directed knew this was going to have the kind of critical response that it did. I don't think that they did. I don't think that they did, because this show I'm getting so many texts and emails from people who had said, my buddy Fred from I used to work with at Village Road Show, who you guys know him from he had competed in FCL. And he wrote me and he's like, should I watch Andor? Freaking Obi-Wan and Boba Fett were such a letdown. I don't know. I think I'm done with the TV shows. I said, dude, this is right up your alley. Watch this show. It is such a smart show. It is such a it is literally the best thing written since Empire. He's like, really? I'm like, watch it. And an email from him this morning was just like, got to be Emmys. He's quoting the show. He's talking about how people need to get nominated. He's like, it's the first like kind of thinking Star Wars he's had in a long time. So it's that thing that people are starting to get on board with again. And I'm hoping that I'm really hoping it gets a recognition. Now, we're gonna do the Iger story in a second. And the last one I want to tell you guys about today, before we do it, is, as I talked about with trade, and I talked about with Uncommon Goods, which you guys have seen. Yeah, I want to also let you guys know we had. Oh shoot, hold on, sorry about that, guys. Never mind. I was wrong. What did I do? I got trade. I got Uncommon Goods. I got everything, didn't I? Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm so silly. I forgot. I'm so dumb. Rumple. I forgot about Rumple, everybody. Rumple blankets. Rumple's no joke. Rumple. Oh man, I forgot about Rumple. I love Rumple. Rumple is the best. So you guys have heard me talk about this for a while. I've been snuggling. I mean, it's cold. I don't know where you guys are. It's freezing where we are too. And I mean, freezing. It's like 40 degrees. You guys are, guys, it's 2 here wherever you are. So Rumple's got like the best blankets. They're on a mission to introduce the world to better blankets, and they apply performance materials that are typically found in premium outdoor gear and activewear to modernize a dated and boring category. So Rumple products are the perfect addition to any adventure. You can do camping, hiking, and honestly, just relaxing. Like I was watching when I was watching Severance, just snuggled up in a Rumple blanket. They recycle over 5 million plastic water bottles a year. It's a certified B Corporation, which means that they are legally required to consider the impact of their decisions on workers, customers, suppliers, community, and environment. Every year, Rumple offsets the entire carbon footprint of their company. It's a proud member of the 1% for the Planet. Through the program, Rumple donates 1% of sales to support environmental nonprofits. So they're made from discarded plastic bottles, the extra durable 100% recycled 30D polyester. The original Puffy is Rumple's #1 bestseller with over 1 million sold. Rumple products are weather resistant, durable, and most importantly, warm. They have an indoor product line perfect for the couch and movie nights. That's what we have right now. They have the cozy hemp blanket that is softer than your favorite hoodie. It's so soft, it's ridiculous. And the Sherpa fleece and puffy collections, there's a blanket made for every amount of cozy. You can save 25% off at rumple.com, but use that code BigThingBF and you get a extra gift with purchase. Visit rumple.com/bigthing and shop now. So you guys have known that I've been talking about Rumple for quite a while. And I hope that I hope you check it out. I hope you enjoy it. And again, for Christmas holiday coming up, that's another one. Get that blanket, get a blanket for somebody, and they'll be thanking you. And it's not just for bumming out. I have one for my for when I go to my kid's soccer game and I throw it on the dirt, and it's like, and it's doesn't get scratched up. It looks like it's brand new every time you put it back in the car. So check it out. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. Okay. So we're gonna do one more story and then we're gonna get to your questions. So if you want to throw some more of those super chats in there, go ahead. If not, then that's good. Cool. Whatevs. We'll get to the ones that we got to, and that's it. Oh, by the way, did I show you this one? Look at this. Loving those shirts. Loving them. All right. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's move. Sorry. The next story, Mr. Iger. Where are you, sir? Let's get to the Bob Iger story. I got to hear this because I think this is a story that everybody knew about anyway. But I want to hear that. I want to hear the dirty details. You guys, dirty details. Let's hear dirty details on Iger. So I got to find it first. Kennedy, Disney's Iger wasn't happy with Chapek's tenure. No shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. Here we go. Let's go. Someone else is like, check your shorts after that one. Oh. All right. Let's do it. Where's the next one? Where are you, Bobby? I got to find you. There he is. Bob Iger. He's back. Now, this is again from Dark Horizons. On Sunday last week, the Walt Disney Company stunned the entertainment world with the announcement that Bob Iger had returned as CEO and his successor, Bob Chapek, was removed from his post a little over 2 years after he started the job. Now, a report in the Wall Street Journal citing anonymous sources claims that tensions between the two have existed for some time, and Iger has blasted numerous business decisions made by his former replacement. According to the paper, Iger, prices at the Mouse House's theme park have become too steep, especially for middle-class families, and that Chapek focused on Disney's streaming business to the detriment of the company's theme parks and cable divisions, along with the other sources of revenue for Disney. Reportedly, several creative executives working at Disney would contact Iger to share their frustrations about working with Chapek, and Iger would say his successor was killing the soul of the company. Ouch. The report says that the board reportedly considered replacing Chapek following his bungled response to the Florida state government's controversial parental rights in educational legislation. Iger's return, meanwhile, has largely been received positively by Disney employees, Wall Street analysts, and others in the industry. Iger ran Disney from 2005 until 2020 before taking the reins once again this past week. Okay. So let's get down to brass tacks, man. Is anybody surprised by this? Is anybody surprised that Bob Iger, like everybody else, didn't like what Chapek was doing? I mean, he's never going to say it, obviously, but would he? Of course, the guy bungled everything, and it seems like everybody was saying the same thing. Why do you? It's too much effort on this streaming, guy. It's like it's set up, and it's what are you doing? And then every single person I did SEN Live last week. And Beth May was talking about how horrible the parks were. And Mike Kalinowski, who works at the parks, how horrible the working for the parks have become. And it's just like it's been like this bad regime. And the way that he handled the Florida stuff and everything, he was just one after another. And just listen to the guy speak. It was like that teacher you had in class. You're like, oh my God, when is this over? Iger just carries himself like a leader. Now, I know Iger wasn't perfect. But what leader is, for those people who say, well, Iger did this, he caused a lot of messes. Yeah, but he did. But whose stuff out of the stuff that he did right, as opposed to the stuff that Chapek did right? And well, he had longer. Yeah, but there's a reason why he had longer, because he did more stuff right. Chapek would have done enough right. He would have been around longer, but he wasn't. He upped his deal and they still canned his ass. Because the thing is, like anything else, if you don't have, you can make bad choices. You can lose money. I mean, when you lose too much money, that's a nail in the coffin. But if there's a way back from it, you can do all that if you've got the people on your side. If your crew and your people and they like working with you, and you have champions for what you're doing, and you give him a chance. He's a good guy. This guy did not have that. He did not have the employees. He did not have the employees at the park. He did not have the executive employees. He didn't have them. People are running to Iger and complaining about this guy. You're dead. You're dead in anything, not just in business. And if you're a military leader or anything too, and your soldiers aren't following you, you're done. You're done. And you done. I remember this when I worked at a certain company, and the employees felt like they were peasants. The employees felt like they were peasants, and they weren't allowed to premieres, and they weren't allowed to. They had to like fight for premiere tickets, and they weren't. But you had to like sneak into the party. Like, I work for $500 a week. Give me a fucking party ticket if I'm working for this company on a movie that we're doing. The head boss wouldn't even look at you if you didn't make a certain salary, and it's like, fuck you. And that guy's he's not even running his own company anymore. And it's like, people want to work for people who appreciate them. Doesn't matter if you're making $600 a week to $6,000 a week to $60,000 a week. You want to be appreciated. You want people to like, if the mission is presented, if it's presented like, this is what I want to do, I want you guys to be behind me, and it's not working, they're going, okay, he's trying. Let's fight behind him. If you don't feel like you're included, well, why do you want to work for somebody? Iger makes you feel included from what I've heard. I mean, I don't know. I've never worked for the man, but from what I heard, he makes you feel included. He puts the fight out for you, and he makes you feel included. So not a surprise. Not a surprise. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. If I missed anything, again, I'm gonna keep the chats open. So if I missed anything and you want to talk about something, just throw it in there. But I'm gonna load these super chats in here now. And I would love to hear everything that you guys are talking about. No matter whether it's, any of this stuff. And before I do it, I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to show it. I showed it in the beginning. I want to show again. I'm very excited for this. This is something that Brett and I've been working on for a while. So here we go. Before we get into it, this is the little teaser for Shoes and Beef.
Hey, Brett, look at this.
What?
Look at your hands.
This is insane. We're animated.
I love this. Look at it. Look at it in the background. You see that big store? You know what that is, Brett?
That is the Ultimart.
I am excited to tell you guys out there, that we are finally, years ago, Brett and I worked on an animated show. And Brett, what's it called?
Shoes and Beef.
Shoes and Beef. Shoes and Beef, friends for life. And they live in the Ultimart. They walk around the Ultimart, which is a store where everything has come alive. And we are excited to tell you guys about Shoes and Beef. It's coming to this channel. Make sure that you guys are sticking around, tuning around, looking around, beefing around, choosing around, beef, shoes, and beef, beef, and shoes. Yeah, shoes. Friends for life. That was very good, Brett. Thank you.
All right, so again, Fighting Flicks. That guy is, how good is that animation? He's so good. So if you guys don't know Cobra Kai Kid, just a sweetheart of a kid. About as diehard of a Cobra Kai fan you're gonna find. And he is the Cobra Kai Kid, and he's just such an enthusiastic too. But he did these animations on his channel. I was like, oh man, he got some of the voices from the actual cast, and that's really good. And so the dude, Fight and Fix, who did it, reached out to me. He's like, hey man, would you want to do something for your channel? And I was like, hey, Brett and I have been working on this thing for a while. Can I send you the script and you tell me what you think? And he did. And I did, and he really liked it. And he did. He said, why don't we do a little teaser first? So we're gonna do the full pilot on it. And I already talked to Jamie Costa. Jamie Costa is gonna do a voice. I got some other people are gonna do some voices. So I'm pretty excited, man. I'm pretty excited that we're doing this. All right, let's start with some. I'm gonna start with the first one that just came in. David. Thank you, David. That was very kind of you. Did you see the little added detail that in Rogue One, Cassian has Nimic's manifesto strapped to his jacket? I often love Gilroy. No, I didn't know that. That's great. That's great. I love that. I didn't see that. I said there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. So that's amazing. That's fantastic. I do love the detail that he puts into it. I really do. He's great. Okay. Let's get back into this. Darian. Love Darian. Hey, Christian, congrats on Shoes and Beef. Thank you. Hope you had a great holiday. My question, how would you like to see the X-Men introduced in the MCU? First of all, thank you, Darian. You're the man. I appreciate you. Okay, let's see. Darian's, as far as that goes, man, X-Men, I don't know. I thought they were going to bring Doom. And I think that, they've already introduced mutants, right? They introduced it with the little teaser with the theme song with Ms. Marvel. They obviously have talked about how Namor was essentially the first one. I think leading into Secret Wars, you're going to need them. And I think that what you can do is I think that they start to introduce them throughout phase 5 and phase 6. And I think phase 7 is really going to be the X-Men's. That's how because they don't have star power leading into it. They're building their stars right now. The main stars, they're building them out. Like in the first few phases, you had Downey and Chris Evans and Hemsworth, and Hemsworth is kind of fading off from Marvel, obviously. Tom Holland has a few more. They're gonna probably bring him back for a few more, but they need someone to really kind of lead in those new phases. And I think the X-Men will be that, but I think they'll prep up until. So yeah. So that's my thought, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's see. This is the next one. This is Tom Hanks. Thank you, Tom. Always humbled when you show up. Saw Bones and all, and the Menu. Love both. Thoughts? I didn't see either one. I have this. I talked to Perry Nemiroff, by the way, who's going to be on both. Who's going to be on the live stream show. And Perry, I always reach out to her and say, hey, what the hell should I be watching now? Because when Mark and I were doing all the Oscar stuff, I would be so much more tuned in to everything. And now I'm kind of picky and choosy. Like I said, I want to watch The Fablemans. I want to see The Whale. There's other movies that I want to see, but I haven't seen those. I haven't seen The Menu, but I hear things. I hear things. That's not anything right there. But no, I haven't seen them, unfortunately, so I can't speak about them. I'm sorry. Dan the Man. Sorry, Dan the Man. I said it twice. When you see Black Panther Wakanda Forever on the shirtless one on the left. What? Which one? That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next one here. Andrew Smith. Happy to be here, and I can't wait to be on SEN Live tomorrow, but it comes at a cost. I was set to start a new job, but I woke up with COVID. Boo hiss. Oh, I'm sorry. Andrew, that's terrible. I hope you feel better, man. I know it's spiking right now, especially after Thanksgiving. So I'm sorry. That sucks, but I'm glad you're going to be on SEN Live. Feel better. Make sure you're okay. You always take a rain check. But for people who don't know, SEN Live, we offer it's going to be live on the on the Christian Harloff and French channel. At the Patreon tier, you can join, and patrons at a certain level can actually join the stream at one point. So there you go. Well, feel better, Andrew, please. Okay, thank you. That's very nice. Just $1 donation. I like those little dollar donations. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. Okay, next one. Soundwave Chronicles. SEN Super Chat was missed, but it was Ford's likeness for Red. But it was Ford's likeness for Red Hulk, and definitely deal alongside Indy 5DH. If Kingpin equals Skrull, is Hawkeye better for it? If Kingpin equals Skrull, I see what you're saying. It's because, okay, I see what you're saying. So Kingpin was mishandled poorly in Hawkeye, if you ask me. However, if he's made Skrull, would it change your perception of him? Probably. Yeah, probably. But I also think it's maybe a cop-out. Probably. But would I accept it? Yes. So, and as far as the deal for Harrison Ford, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. The one that looks at the camera, you'll see me. Okay. Well, that's awesome, dude. I hope that experience seems like it was a lot of fun. So Dan the Man says he was in Wakanda Forever. That's cool. I hope that seems like a fun time, obviously, being on there. Ben Rayner. I love Ben. Hey, Christian. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I hope you did too, Ben. I watched a great movie, Spirited, with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It's a really good new twist on an old tale. Okay. So I started watching it. I started watching that with my wife, and because of the musical stuff, we bailed on it early. I should keep watching it. And I like musicals. I love musicals, but I don't know. There's something about it didn't work. But is it kid friendly? So that's something I might want to watch with my daughter. Jamaica Queens, yeah, Queens, hell yeah, just supporting the channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I got to go back. I got to go back home, Bayside, and Jamaica's where I got my driver's license, by the way. Jamaica Queens. Thank you for that. That's very, very kind of you. And I really appreciate everybody who's supporting the channel, whether you're supporting through a comment, whether you're supporting through a like, if you're Patreon, if you've bought a shirt, sponsors, super chat, any of it. It is so, so appreciated. I cannot thank you enough. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was talking to my wife about it. There's absolutely a massive risk leaving, the skybound job of an executive position over there. And I worked there for 3 years, and it was a matter of, taking the risk. And finally, because I was on my own, once I left Collider, I think a month before I took the job at Skybound. So it was a risk, but you guys have made it more than worthy. And I can't thank you enough for all the support. And now that we got both channels up and running, to hear all your thoughts and everything too, and to get to know more of you on Patreon, to get to know more of you on the chats, it's been really great. Dan, once again, thank you, Dan. Happy holidays, man. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. And thank you for, that's three super chats in a row, man. Thank you very much. I was very kind, and I really appreciate it. And you guys are, again, you guys are fantastic. You guys are fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, got some more here coming in. Ben Rayner, did you catch cameo in Guardians of Holiday? Drunk Santa made me smile. Gunn got this. Guy in MCU, the drunk. Which guy? Who was the cameo? Who was the drunk Santa? Maybe I missed it. Who was it? Let me know, everybody. I don't remember. But I loved that special. And I was not expecting to love that special. I really wasn't. I didn't know what to expect on that special. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Really fun. I put it in again with my rankings. It's in my rankings. What do you guys think of this double stream by the end? We still have more. We have more super chats. I'm gonna go through all of them. And again, if you put them in now, I'm gonna get to all of them. We'll stay here until we're over. I promise. But people are saying that it's Mark. What? Oh, Mark Hamill. It wasn't Mark Hamill. It was Mark Hamill. Some people say it was Mark Hamill. Some people say it wasn't. Mark Hamill's son said it wasn't him. I'll ask Nathan right now. Hey Siri, text Nathan Hamill. Hey, I'm doing a live stream. Can you confirm or deny that that was your dad in the Christmas special? Question mark. Let's see. We'll find out in a second. Some people say it was Mark Hamill. Some people say it wasn't. All right. Find out in a second. Anyway, we're going to find out. Anyway, let's see. So I'm going through. Let's go some more comments here. Well, we just did that one. Okay. So Spirited Away. I'll check it out. I'll check it out and finish it. Mark Lee, do you collect physical media or digital? So I don't collect digital. I definitely collect physical. But I just if I buy it, I buy it. You know what I mean? Like if it's like so Top Gun, I have it on Amazon, but it's like I don't like, oh, here's my whole list on digital. But like I have my Blu-rays everywhere, and we've got to straighten up some of this stuff in the office, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I got some cool guests coming into the studio. I got Kathy Kelly coming into the studio soon. So that'll be fun for WWE fans and for just people who like cool people. She's the best. So anyway, all right, let's see. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Thank you again for everybody who's commented here. Kenneth Colton. Glass Onion was very good. It made just as much as Disney's Strange World, and it played on only 600 screens. I noticed that. And yeah, people are raving about it, man. People are raving about it. I tried to watch that last night, but it doesn't come out until like the end of the month for Netflix, but I'll be watching it. Why don't you go in theaters? I just couldn't get out to the theater. What's weird is I had a screener for Willow, the first 3 episodes, and I started to watch it, and then I got an invitation to go. They're doing some event near where I am, and I was like, and I'll be honest, the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I don't know if this one's for me. And we wanted to see it. But then I got the invite, and then my daughter, who I haven't taken to one of these events in a while, was like, do you want to go? And she's like, oh, she wants to. So excited. So I'm taking her to see that. So I'll have my thoughts on Willow. Or at least I think they're showing the first 3 episodes tomorrow. So I'll let you know what I think about that. Avatar's coming up soon. I got the screening for that in the next couple of weeks. So I'll have my thoughts on Avatar coming up. And it's really it for December. I mean, I know there's other movies, obviously The Whale, these other ones that I'll put reviews out to, but the ones that the big movies that I think everybody's gonna be searching for, it doesn't start to pick up until like February, man. All right, let's go. Next one. Pooch Shoot Trio or Triot. Nice, Pooch Shoot. Late to the show. Been basking in my local sports shows about the Browns victory. Congratulations. Every time OSU loses, Cleveland wins. Keep kicking ass. Thanks, man. Yeah, look, congratulations on that. I had to get a heartbreaker of a time in for Thanksgiving, man. A tease. I mean, the Giants are really hurt right now, but they played the Cowboys really well, and I thought they had them after that first half, and then the wheels fell off. I think they just got tired, and again, they're hurt. So, but I can appreciate the love, especially that my buddy Naveed, who you guys know, he's watching the OSU game and just like was a very funny video. He's just losing his mind. But yeah, congratulations on the Browns. That's awesome. Did you guys know, by the way, I saw somebody put a Lord of the Rings comment. Did you guys know that there's apparently supposed to be another Lord of the Rings movie coming out next year by New Line? That slipped under the radar, or maybe it didn't. Is that something that's been reported on? I had never heard about that. I saw like New Line is releasing a new Lord of the Rings movie next year. That's something that flew under the radar. Shaman John, hey man, haven't seen you in a while. The Warriors or the Wanderers better going film? I'd have to say the Warriors. Warriors come out and play. Yeah, man. What's that? All right, I missed that one. Puchu Trio. During the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, someone yells at Drax, calling him the God of War. Yes, he absolutely does. You think there's any meaning to it with the upcoming show? Nah. I think it was just a cool reference because he does look like him for sure. And that was why they did that. All right, I seem to have gone through all the super chats. Unless somebody said I missed one of theirs, I feel like I got everybody's. And if I missed any of your super chats, please let me know now, because like I said, I'm doing this double stream. So I think the way that StreamYard works, it lists everybody's super chats. So I want to make sure I got everybody's. I'm gonna open up the link and just make sure on the other one. I think I got everybody's. I'm gonna make sure that I got it, because you're gonna hear something here in a second. So let's say I have to make sure, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to, I got all this stuff. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. What I don't want to do is miss anybody's stuff. All right. We did a full show, man. We did a double live stream show. And I'm so curious to what you guys thought about this. Would you please let me know in the comments section? Would you please let me know now while we're sitting here? Did you like the double stream? Does it work? Is it something we can do? Like I said, I think we'll reassess it once it plays on both channels, and we'll find out if it does good on both channels. And if it does, then maybe we'll do it again. If not, then what are you going to do? And we took an experiment and it didn't work, or it did, whatever. We'll figure it out. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It was a fun show today. I was excited to be with you, and I was excited that you were with me. So I appreciate you very much. We'll be back on tomorrow. I'm doing John Campio's show, so I'll be on there tomorrow. You can check that out. Come on, Omega 69 Mega, beat it. Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Freaking spam. Did this whole survey on YouTube yesterday about how do you think we clean up spam? Terribly. Absolutely terribly. Oh, and by the way, that reminds me, if you ever comment on any of my videos and you see me tell you that you won a Telegram contest, it's bullshit. I don't do Telegram. Don't even heard of fucking Telegram. I don't know what it is. I don't go on it. No, don't know what it is. If you ever hear, congratulations, you won shit, I don't do that. I don't do it on comments. I would never do it on a comment. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It's not me. So if you see it on a comment where that I respond, and that's the thing, these fucksticks don't realize that I'm very active in the comments. So I see it and I try to ban it all the time. Report them, see them. If you ever see, Christian Harloff on Telegram, report it as spam. Go to the thing, you'll see they have like 0 followers. They have this. It's bullshit. So don't get scammed by it. Some people have been sending money. These fucks, don't do it. Don't do it. It's bullshit. So just to let everybody know that it is absolutely bullshit. And they do it to a bunch of different creators out there. They're scumbags. They're filth. I want to see. So Pierogi is a guy who I love. He catches all the scammers out there, and I want to get Pierogi on their fucking asses. Scumbags. Do not fall for it. I would not. My contest would not come from. I don't even do them. I'll do like certain things, maybe on Patreon or something too. We got one more here. Sorry. Jamin John, what should be Tarantino's 10th and final film? I don't want it to be Kill Bill 3 or Star Trek or any Westerns. I want it to be First Blood. First Blood, that'd be interesting, man. Based off the actual novel itself, I'm not going to argue. You wanted something really funny. It's so funny you bring up First Blood. So my daughter, my 11-year-old, asked me, like, I tuck her in at night, and she's like, Dad, tell me a story. And I'm so tired at night that I can't just think of some of these things at night. So I started telling this story, but I changed up First Blood, and I made it about a character named Rambina, and she's this vet that fought in these wars, and it's run out of the country, run out of this town, and has to go into the woods. It's the whole story of First Blood. I'm like taking it into little steps throughout the thing. She doesn't know. She's like, you have better cliffhangers than Sharon Messinger and Keeper of the Lost Cities. Break this kid's heart. And I tell her I'm plagiarizing First Blood. Anyway, thank you guys. I love you guys. I really do. I really, really do. I think you guys are just absolutely amazing. The support on this channel, the positivity on this channel inside of this community. I appreciate you very much. We'll see you very soon. We'll see you on Wednesday with myself and Mike and Steph as we come back on Sith Council. Thursday's Roxy and Brett. Friday is myself, Coy, and Winston. So thank you. On the main channel, on the Christian Harloff and Friends channel, I forget that I'm broadcasting on both. I will have some more guests this week. It's more like, if you're not subscribed, you should be, because I do kind of impromptu ones, and that's what I do. So anybody? Yeah, anybody want to come on? Let me know. You guys rock. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the big thing. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Get yourself a shirt. You want to get a shirt and go into the store, the TeePublic store. The link is in the description. I've got a really good sweatshirt for Sith Council in there, and big thing, and show some class. The Top Gun guy.
The Top Gun guy?
Yeah, the Top Gun guy, and all that. All right, everybody. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll see you on the flip side. And we're out.